some other open source source code scanning tools. In the past few weeks, I wrote an article in our website, Open Foundry. 我们自由软体铸造厂上面，我有一篇文章，is about talk about these topics. Maybe you can see that article, then you can get more information, especially in the footnote. Okay. Okay, one last question.
Okay, you mentioned that the binary analysis tools before, but in most commercial license, the reverse engineering is illegal itself. So if you get that company that's steal the source code from the GPL, how to deal with this problem?
Well, it is a question if the binary analysis tool is reverse engineering. So that's it's a very, very complicated legal question. No, it's not. But for our use, I cannot go into details. But for our use of it, currently we came to the conclusion that it is not reverse engineering. The binary analysis tool. So how it's technically working, maybe Harald can expand a little bit more on the details, because it is his organization that published the tool, and from the lawyer's side, I'm pretty confident that that there is no problem with that.
Yeah, is this working? Yeah, it is. Well, I don't know how the copyright law is phrased in Taiwan, but at least in European copyright directives, what is actually legally prohibited is called decompilation. Translating binary code into some more source code-like representation, and possibly also disassembling, so converting it back into the assembly code. But that's not something that the binary analysis tool does. The binary analysis tool looks for things like symbol tables, strings inside the binary program, such as error messages or things that are contained as strings inside the object code. So it does not actually do analysis of the instructions in the code, but merely data in the code, and there is no decompilation or anything like that involved in it. So there's no problem, at least in European Union copyright law.
And I believe the same is true for Taiwanese law. So no decompilation and also no decryption as of the moment.
Lucian, do you want to explain more?
Yeah. Something is defined by the license, but some right is held by our law. In Taiwan's laws, you always have the right to find some evidence to defend your rights. So it won't be a legal issue if you reverse engineering some project only to find some evidence to protect your own right. 补充说明一下，在台湾的法律里面，其实刑事诉讼法就有说，如果你去找到某些证据来保卫你自己的权利，那也许那是最后一个司法手段的话，那在司法诉讼上面，它并不会认为是一种侵犯别人权利。所以就算是某些产品，它有说禁止还原工程 （anti-reverse engineering）， 但是作为司法取证上，你还是有权利这样去做。
不用问也没关系。
Please, yeah.
我用中文问啊，佛文我是波峰啊，再帮我问一下，就是说刚提到说那个 M&A 啊，就是两个企业合并的时候啊，那个要履行 GPL 义务嘛。那我觉得这很有趣，我以前从来没有想到过，我今天这边才知道。那有没有任何组织啊 ，focus 在这一块，就说看两个企业合并的时候有没有履行 GPL 这个义务这样子？刚刚有提到说，在两个企业 M&A 的时候，就是并购的时候。因为它就有交付这个动作，它就是 distribution， 它就要履行 GPL 义务，这实在非常有趣，我以前从来没有想过。所以我说有没有组织像 GPL violation 一样会 keep on 就是在注意这方面的。
I try to translate with my poor English. Okay.
My English is poor too. Either.
The question is that you have talked about when two companies merged, and maybe they should take care that each other. Maybe they have used open source software before, and they have fulfilled the obligation of such licenses obligations. Is there any organizations to especially take care of these things, or is there especially measures to make these two companies to know each other if they are violates the license or not?
Okay, so that actually boils down to the question of source code scanning tools. It might be necessary, if I understand the question right, if you have a merger and you have to evaluate the value of a company, it might be necessary to audit the intellectual property and find out how much of that is open source software. So there again, a source code scanning tool can be helpful, something like Black Duck or the others that are mentioned in the slide.
What I really mean is that is there any organization like GPLviolation.org to keep an eye on this when two companies merge? They must release their source code.
If two companies, so you mean if there is this? Well,
no,
not particularly for this case.
But you mentioned AGPL and the other case is M&A.
Yes.
So what?
I just say that if two companies merge, if you sell a business model, you might find yourself, it's based on the case, but you might find yourself in the legal situation that you distribute the software that you are selling together with the business model, and then it would be a distribution.
Since your distribution, you must release the code, no?
If you are distributing the binary at that time, the servers, for example, and it is GPL software, and it's a question of this isolated case, but if you distribute the software at that point in time, then you have to open the source code and offer it. And that's the point where even if you use the software only as a service, where the obligations of the GPL might be triggered. Okay, I think we are over the time, but I would really like to follow up on the question of the gentleman here regarding the binary analysis tool. When I said it's a very complicated question, just to clarify that, I mean reverse engineering in copyright is a complicated question. I'm absolutely confident we have no legal problem with the binary analysis tool.
Okay, thank you, Søren. And thank you all, and this session today is here, and I would like to make a little add, especially as I'm the host here of this session for Open Source Software Foundry, OSSF. At the end of this year, we will hold an event. We plan to invite some foreign speakers. They are technical developers to talk about legal issues. If you are interested in such issues, you may keep on our website for this information and follow up. Then welcome all of you to come to our event in the end of this year. Thank you. And